and Fanaga Gogo is also in the mix there. Minera is also tuned in that particular song right here on 107.5. It is now 11:20 and it is time for our BizConnect segment. As I've been throwing forward to this particular chat, I'm now joined by a young entrepreneur. We are live on our Facebook, we're live on our YouTube channel, and she goes by the name of Tamia Nontsikelelo to chat about her very unique online store. Tamia, thank you so much for tuning in and joining us this morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing? Thank you so much for having me.
It's so pleasure. I like how you went. I'm good. Like you're good. It's a Wednesday.
I'm
You're
good.
good.
Listen.
Awesome stuff. Listen, I'm gonna jump right straight to it. So I love the fact that you're wearing one of your products,
Yeah.
a crown. I love that. Before we can chat about your business, your online store, who is Tamia? Talk us through who you are, where you're from, and all of that in details.
Okay. My name is Tamia Nontsikelelo. I was born and raised in Soweto, so I'm a township girly
Um,
through and through. I'm 23 years old, and I'm a chill girl. I'm a nice girl. I always like to tell people I'm a simple girl and I like nice things. I think that's the best way I can describe myself.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that sums it up.
All right, fantastic. I love that. Now, what inspired you? You mentioned a good to you are 23, quite young. What inspired you to venture into entrepreneurship? I mean, you've got a beautiful online store. When did you realize that you want to make money and open up a store?
Well, firstly, I studied accounting at Wits. So, but even when I got in, I knew that corporate was just not going to be for me. Like my
Yeah.
best way out, I thought, okay, maybe I'd probably just go intellectual or something. I knew that I was not meant for corporate. I always knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. I just didn't know what I would be entrepreneuring, right?
Hmm.
So, um, with the head wraps, what happened was that I went through a phase in my life where I was too broke to do my hair. I was too broke
Yeah.
to do my hair. And, one thing that my mom told me was that never go outside looking unkept.
Uh-huh.
So I had this immense pressure to see, like, even if I'm Krilanga and my hair is a mess, but like I had to go outside looking proper. So I
Yeah.
discovered this no one's gonna know.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I would wear head wraps a lot. And I think during that time also I was at rock bottom and I
Mhm.
really was forced to do a lot of inner work on myself, on like who I am, really find confidence that was not reliant on how I looked because I was also breaking up a lot of the time. So I think in my mind, I associated head wraps with confidence because I would wear head wraps at that time. And that was also the time when I really found true confidence. So
Yeah.
when I started posting on my Instagram, I'd post my outfits, getting ready, and I would always show the head wraps. And people would always ask me, where do you get them from? And at the time, I was literally cutting up my clothes and just like, I was cutting up my clothes and making them head wraps. So every single time I'd get the question, where do you buy them? Where do you wear them? At some point, I was like, listen, y'all want me to plug you? I will plug you. And that is how I decided, let me start selling head wraps.
Yeah, sure. Beautiful. I mean, I think like, we all can relate to the fact that at times we went through a stage where, we couldn't afford to do our hair and, head wrap doku was the best way to go. Right.
Listen.
As a young person though, as a young person, I think that also head wraps also speaks about modesty, and
Yeah.
there's a video that you did on Instagram about modesty. Talk us through that unifying factor of head wraps and modesty as a young person, if that makes sense.
I think for me, modesty, I think modesty it's more than just about like what you wear, right? It's how you carry yourself, right? It's how you
Mhm.
see yourself. Now I look up to the women who are before me. And
Yeah.
all the women, one thing that you notice about, even if it's not all the women, but rather like women of virtuous women, right? Like they are so modest in the way that they carry themselves, the way that they dress. And a lot of the times we see our grandmothers and our mothers, "Bafasa itugu," and it always has itugu is not just itugu, it carries something behind it. And some
Mm.
cultures it tells your marital status, and some cultures it says that it links to our beliefs, it links to how we see ourselves. It's not just a rap, right? So I think with me as a young person, they feel like head wraps, it's how I free myself, because I told you that there was this immense pressure to say, "Guti," especially in our generation, it's either you need to have your wig on fleek or mele ohlezi with the knotless braids, and those things get so expensive. And I was it came to a time where I couldn't wait until I did my hair next, because that's the time when I felt beautiful in a month end, when my
Oh,
hairstyle was finished. So for me, it became something that was just like, okay, like this frees me, because I can put on a head wrap and still look beautiful. And it does not just cover you, but
mm.
it also empowers you, because it looks good, it looks stylish, and it represents so much.
Yeah, I mean, you look good, you look stylish, and I want you to talk us through your product offering. When we click onto the website or the online store, what are we, should look forward to?
Well, it's so many different styles. Firstly, one of them, this is our bestseller actually. It's what I have on right now. A lot of people
Uh-huh.
tell me that they do not know how to actually tie it. So what I did is that I created something super simple. Literally, you slip it on like a hat.
Yeah,
The turban. You literally just slip it on like a hat, and whether or not you know how to tie a wrap, like you'll find it for you. It comes in different colors, different styles.
yeah,
And we also have obviously the traditional wrap, which is just a wrap, which is beautiful because it's so versatile. And what I wanted to do is, because I really focus on people's pain points. I thought about the fact that people sometimes complain, first it is hard. So I created slip-on turbans. People say it's okay,
hmm,
it gives me a headache. So I made sure that I created products that were comfortable. If you look at a lot of the materials that we use, they are really stretchy. This has a four-way stretch. Like literally, no matter how tight you tie it on, it will still
yeah,
be really comfortable. So you will not get headaches from a head wraps.
hmm,
And even if you don't know how to tie a head wrap, we have something for you. So I think it's really products that are catered for people who actually love, even if it's not an everyday thing, but like
hmm.
it's a necessity in your closet.
Yeah, sure. I love that. Now, with regards to purchasing it, as you mentioned, with you based Soweto, right, in Johannesburg currently, or
Well, I moved away from Soweto. The
okay,
store is online. I live in Johannesburg. I literally do everything from home, from my apartment, but we deliver nationwide, even internationally, actually. So what you do is that once you place your order online, literally we will deliver to you in 3 to 5 days, maybe sooner if you need it sooner. But like,
mm,
yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Everything is online. We live in an e-commerce kind of economy, so literally everything is streamlined.
yeah. Now, before I let you go, I mean, I want to circle back to the fact that because you are a young entrepreneur who decided, to close a gap, to bring forth a solution where there was a problem. In the same breath, I want you to talk us through some of the challenges that you encountered as a young entrepreneur from the inception of the business and now, and how did you overcome these particular challenges?
I think, the most obvious thing, I mean, what a lot of people think is that I'm going to say something like capital, or I'm going to say something like infrastructure information, but honestly, that is a lie. South Africa is a beautiful economy. As much as we have so many struggles, but like there's so much opportunity and access to information. And
Mhm,
because, like I said, my business is e-commerce, I do not own anything. I literally used 5,000 rand, less than that, to start my business.
mhm,
And it has made so much from the time that I began it, to say, "Good, I didn't have anything. I don't own a store. I don't own any cars. I don't own anything. With e-commerce, all you need is an idea." So I think the hardest thing, even from inception, was just believing that you can do it. Because the thing
yeah,
is, when you don't see it, when you've never seen, like I grew up Ekasi, like nobody thinks outside the box. A lot of time, there are people who do, but like to see it face to face, it's rare.
mhm,
Like when you have that mentality of like, struggle, and everybody at home is saying, "Ham, you told him say." So when you think about starting a business, nobody takes you seriously. Nobody
yeah,
actually thinks that it is possible and it is doable for you. So I think the hardest thing is just the belief and the knowing that you can do it, because the information is there. I always tell people, if you have YouTube, guys, I went to bits, but literally everything that I have used on my business,
yeah,
my degree had nothing to do with it. I went to this University of YouTube. Go on YouTube. Everything you need is there. You don't even need a lot of money. If you have the idea, go on the internet. You will figure out a way to make it happen.
Come on, I love that. And before I let you go, now that I mentioned that a few seconds ago, your business has a very cool and unique name, and I'm not trying to mispronounce it live on air.
Yeah.
What does it mean, and where did it come from?
Okay, so actually, but the name of my business is Doltema. Doltema. So it's actually how it started is that obviously anything that you put on your head is a crown, right? And valuable women, right, who wear crowns are queens. So
Mhm.
obviously, I wanted something that meant a queen and confidence because I believe in my business. I don't sell hairdrops, y'all. I sell confidence.
Come
So
on.
I wanted the name to represent that. So I went on a quick Google search and I found the name Thema, which is a Ghanaian name that just means queen. So when I wanted to use the name Thema, but after Google search, I realized, okay, Thema was too popular. So I thought, okay, confidence has to do with standing up tall. So it'll
Yeah.
be tall Thema. But then I thought tall Thema doesn't sound cool. I added a twang and it became tall Thema.
I love it. I love it. Socials, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Where do we find you?
You can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on TikTok. We're big on TikTok. Another thing, if you have a business, get up with TikTok, yo. I cannot
Okay.
even explain what it does. TikTok's algorithm is so good. We're on TikTok. We are on Instagram. We're also on Facebook as Toltema.
Yeah.
If you just search it up, you'll find it. Also on our website, www.toltema.com. Very simple. Tolthema. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is find us.
Awesome. I mean, you are so beautiful. You are fantastic. And thank you so much for chatting to us. And I know that our listeners are looking forward to the young giveaway I mentioned earlier on. So thank you so much for those again. And I pray that your business will just elevate and grow from strength to strength, from glory to glory. You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been a pleasure. Bye. All right.